All right, hey people, it's Mrs. D. I'm just making this recording for you. I'll show you some of the more advanced tools in Inventor. So to get started, we're going to open a millimeter file. So we're going to go new, and then on the left here, we'll select metric, and then standard millimeter IPT, create, okay. And before actually getting into like the drawing component, I want you to message me on Teams and give me a heads up on like what it is that you want to make. We showed some examples last class and I posted some pictures and stuff in the Teams page, but I'd like you to kind of get an approval from me. As far as like overall size, like something small that you could fit in the palm of your hand, think like a keychain or like a cell phone charm. Okay, don't be making something really huge because the print will take forever and it'll use lots of material and be like expensive. So I think I wrote on the assignment something like roughly 40 mil by 40 mil by 40 mil, which is why we're working in millimeters. But today I'll show you a few of the tools. I'm not actually going to draw anything particularly interesting, but I'll show you more or less how this works. So,
Mr. On, if you're in the building, can you
let's
please
just
call
wait for the announcement.
Mr. On, thank you.
Done. There we go. So I showed you last class how to do stuff like extrude or whatever. So for example, you can use the extrude tool. You select your profile. You select the distance you want to go, like 10 millimeters. Sure, okay. But I want to show you some other tools. So I'm going to show you revolve. And what I want to draw is I want to draw like a dome on the top. So what I'm going to draw is like a semicircle. Is 3-point arc end middle, or is it's 1, 2, 3? Yeah, end middle, end middle. Okay, finish. So all I've drawn is I've drawn an arc. So I'm going to show you the revolve command. Any of these tools, if you want to know how to use them, you kind of just like hover your mouse over it and it explains. But revolve, essentially, you have like a 2D drawing and then you have a central axis and it like revolves it around that axis. So, for example, I want to take this shape, which is the profile, and then the axis I want to pick here as a central axis. Now, we can either spin all the way around and make a sphere, or in this case, we really only need to go like 180 degrees. So rather than full, we can just put an angle. So like 90 degrees or whatever, and we'll just do 180. Oops, my number lock isn't on. 180. So 180 gives us like this dome on top, okay? So there's a revolve tool. There's also sweep, which is where you have like a 2D shape along a path. So I can show you that like, I don't know, here. So I'll draw, I don't know, I'll draw something on here. So I'll draw like a rectangle, I guess. I don't know, something like this. Finish. And then I want to draw a path for the rectangle. So I need to have a plane. Let's go angle to plane around an edge. Can I do that? Angle to plane around edge. Excellent. So I'm going to draw, sketch. Oh, it disappeared. Okay, so sorry, plane. I wanted to go angle to plane through edge. So I picked this plane and I want to go this edge and I want to go 90 degrees. Check. So I want to sketch on this. So I'm going to draw a path for that rectangle. So I'll draw something like, I don't know, maybe like a squiggly path. I'll do a spline maybe. So maybe I want this to be like a squiggly, noodly kind of thing. Okay, so what's going to happen when I select sweep is it's going to take this shape and it's going to pull it along that path that I made. So sweep here, and it automatically is selecting the profile and the path, but you can also manually select profile and then manually select path and then go okay. And it like automatically generates that shape, which gives you kind of this nice like swervy, twirly shape. We've already talked about like hole and fillet and chamfer, so you know how to like, you know, if you wanted to fillet the edges and like round them over, you can do that. This is starting to look like a tadpole a little bit. There's also emboss, which if you let this go, what you do is you end up drawing text, and then it like embosses it onto a surface. So I'll show you kind of how you can do that as well. If we wanted to put text on like this round surface, I would do something like, if you want to do tangent, you can go tangent through an edge or tangent through a point. I don't know that we have any edges there, so I'll show you how to do tangent from a point. If we go to our original sketch one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a point here, finish, and then rotate it. And I want to do a plane tangent to surface through a point. So I want to do tangent to this surface through, oh, my point. Oh, you can't see my point because okay, never mind. I have to undo my fillet. And let's sketch one. There's my point right there. So I'm going to turn on the visibility for sketch one. Now you can see my little point right there. So you're going to go plane, tangent to surface through a point. So this surface, this point, and I get this plane. So I want to sketch on this plane. So this is where you can emboss. So you could do text, like here maybe. And I want this to say, I don't know what I want it to say. My name. Where's that? Not with my name. So I can't fit. So I have to make it smaller. 3 mils. 1, 2 mils. 2 mils. There we go. So there's my name. You could also change the font and whatever in the text box. So we'll go finish. So what I have here is I have my word name on the plane, and then I have the rounded surface. So I can do emboss, which is where I take this and then I click this solid that I want it to go on. I want it to go that way and wrap to face. Face. There we go. So I want it to wrap to that face and then come out a depth of a millimeter. Okay. And we'll see. There we go. So here what it's done is it's done kind of like an extrusion style. You can also go the other direction and have your name go like in, but this way it come out. So again, if you wanted to emboss, you could also go the other direction. Like that. So that's how you would like wrap text. Then what other things do we have here? There's also loft, which is where you draw a shape on a plane and a shape on another plane, and then it creates the shape between the two. So an example of that would be, let's do plane offset from plane. So we want to offset from this one, and let's offset it a distance of 10, or let's go 30 mils. Oh, that's too far. Never mind. 10 mils. Okay, so that's there. Okay, and then I want to sketch on this plane. Sketch on here. And I want to sketch just like a point over here. So I'll put a point like here, finish. So what you can do is you can now take this shape. So we can do a loft, and you can go from this shape and you can loft to this shape, and then it'll create a solid between those 2 points. And we want to do point sketch and then okay. And then it'll like, I don't know, kind of made like a cone. But you can also have like multiple levels. So you could have like this shape, the circle, and then a rectangle, and then a point or 2 points or something. So if you wanted to give like the robot like 2 little pointy legs, you could do 2 points and then go from the circle to the 2 points. You want to give like 2 little pointy feet, or circle to smaller circles. Anyway, I'm just showing you some of the more advanced creation tools. So again, extrude, revolve, sweep, loft. We looked at those. We looked at emboss. There isn't too much else. There's also like combine and draft and stuff, but I mean, these aren't quite as interesting. And then looking at the plane tools can be kind of helpful, like how I used offset from plane to do a plane like a distance away from another plane. I also used tangent to surface through edge and tangent to surface through point. And I think I did maybe angle plane to edge. Anyway, so there's like different plane options. So you don't just have to draw like on the surfaces of the shape. You can also have planes away from the item. Anyway, so for Friday, you're going to be coming up with deciding what it is that you want to make, doing some more research, message me, kind of run the idea by me. I might not get back to you right away, but I mean, if you think it's kind of within reason and Mr. Withrow thinks it's within reason, then you can start modeling and then start exploring some of these tools. Please make sure in a millimeter file, and please keep size and scale in mind. And that's it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please ask Mr. Withrow or message me. Bye.